Hello, everybody. Welcome back to James's Classic Movies. Yours truly is with you again today. Hope everybody's having a nice day. Today, we're going to talk about a World War II film called Battle of the River Plate. Uh, this is about the ship in front of you there, the Admiral Graspree, uh, operating during actually before World War II. And of course, she engaged three British ships, and uh, her crew and captain scuttled her before she fell into the wrong hands, and respect for the ship and so forth. They went ahead and scuttled their ship. Now let's get into that and tell you exactly what happened. Okay, first of all, let's tell you about the film, and then we'll skip into it. The film Battle of the River Plate was filmed in 1956 on a budget of £275,000, that's British pounds, which is about the equivalent in U.S. money of $350,000. The box office, she brought home $750,000 for that time. That's a lot of money. It's a good movie, and we'll hopefully add it to your collection. Directed by Emmerich Pressburger and Michael Powell, starring Anthony Quayle as Commander Harwood, Peter Finch as Captain Langsdorff, Bernard Lee as Captain Dove, and John Gregson as Captain Bell. And of course, an appearance by Christopher Lee in this film, as I'm going to try to pronounce it here. Please don't shoot me. Manolo, something like that. And of course, there are other greats in this movie as well. As near as I can tell, the movie depicts exactly what happened during that time. Let's talk about the Admiral Graspree that's in front of you there. Admiral Graspree was one of three pocket battleships built from 1929 to 1936. Her sister ships are the Deutschland and the Admiral Scheer. The Graspree was named after the Admiral Maximilian Graspree, hero of 1914, Battle of the Falkland Islands, where he met his demise and was killed. Graspree was commanded by Captain Hans Langsdorff. Now, before I spill the beans on Captain Langsdorff here, we want to get back onto the Graspree here. Graspree, like their two sister ships, carried she was manned by 1,000 crew members. She had 6 11-inch guns, 8 5.9-inch guns, 8 21-inch torpedo tubes. That's a lot of torpedoes for a ship. One's like a above-water submarine. That's about the complement of the submarine carries. I think subs carry 16. I'm not sure. 17 multiple anti-aircraft batteries. The L-65, she had 3 of those, which caliber was 4.1, and she had 4 1.5-inch guns, which were the SKC-30s, and then she had 10 .79 caliber C-30s. That's quite an armament for a ship like that. They were tough, these 3 ships. Let me give you a little background on these ships here. Like I said before, they were built between 1929 and 1936. During peacetime, before the World War broke out in 1940, the Deutschland and the Admiral Scheer were on routine patrol during the Spanish War or uprising before World War II. They were on a routine patrol, just a non-interventive Their orders were not to intervene in anything, just go on patrol. And of course, the Deutschland was attacked by Republican bombers, and in retaliation, the Admiral Scheer bombarded the town of Almeria, Almeria. Hope I'm pronouncing that right. Almeria. They bombarded in retaliation. The Deutschland was heavy damaged at that time, but of course was repaired. And also, for a little note there, the Admiral Grass Spree was the, I guess you could say, flagship. She was chosen to represent Germany during the coronation of, what was it, a king? If I can find who. King George the Sixth. During the coronation review there in Great Britain. She was quite a ship. Now, we're going to get down here in just a minute. The Grass Spree tonnage was roughly 10,000 pounds. Due to the Treaty of Versailles, these ships could weigh no more than 12,000 tons, amongst other things. But they said nothing about armaments. But that's gonna cap it for the ships, except for the fact what happened to them. Okay, let's find out what happened to Admiral Scheer and the Deutschland. These ships, during the final days of the war, were over by the Soviet Union, and both were destroyed. The Admiral Scheer was transported to one of its Kyiv, where it was partially scrapped before it was sank and buried by debris when I think it was an earthquake or something hit the area. The Deutschland, which was renamed I want to say Langsford, but I'm not sure on that. You can look it up. But anyway, she was sunk there by aerial bombardment from the Soviets. She was they raised her and used her for target practice until she was resunk. And that was the end of those. And of course, the Grass Spree met her end down in South America, which we're going to get into here in just a moment. The Admiral Grass Spree, along with her sister ships, the Deutschland and Admiral Scheer, were classed before the war as Deutschland class Panzerskiffs, armored ships. They done this in accordance with the Treaty of Versailles. Later, the Kriegsmarine reclassified them as a heavy cruiser, which the Admiral Grass Spree and her sister ships were. Roughly the same size and class as our heavy cruisers, but a lot faster and more guns. But, of course, now the British had received word that the Grass Spree was operating down in the South Atlantic. She had been harassing ships coming out and destroying them and capturing their cargoes and so forth like that. That was her job at the time. She was very good at it. If you look at the map there in front of you, you will see that you'll see the Grass Spree, Exeter, Achilles, and Ajax. These were the final ships in the battle before Grass Spree sunk herself, and I'll show you footage of that here in just a minute. Well, let's move the cursor over here. The Exeter was was badly damaged when they finally spotted the Grass Spree down in the South American area. Around the Rio de la Plata in the Atlantic Ocean, or Platte, however you want, they spotted the ship, and despite her long-range guns of the Grass Spree, the two ships at the time, which had been the Exeter and this ship, the Ajax, attacked the Grass Spree. And the Exeter was badly damaged. Ajax was hit, and Exeter had to go down to the Falklands for repair. She was later replaced by the Cumberland, which is a heavy cruiser. Exeter was the heavy cruiser, and of course she was replaced by the heavy cruiser HMS Cumberland, and of course this ship, the Achilles, joined the Fanfare there to back up Ajax and of course the Cumberland. And those three ships that I just mentioned were sitting right here, right there, at the mouth of the River Plate, waiting for this ship, the Graf Spee, to come running out of there. And of course, if you've seen the movie, you saw what happened. But these ships, a lot of controversy has been hit, wondering if the Graf Spee could have won the day during the Battle of the Exeter and Ajax. Well, the answer to that is the Graf Spee could have rammed the Exeter and sank her, but Ajax, of course, was getting out of gun range because it was badly hit. But you never know what could have happened there. I mean, it's just like saying, if a frog had wings, would he not bump his tail end? I mean, who knows? But anyway, being severely damaged herself, Graf Spee, she was down with one gun left, an 8-inch gun. So the captain decided to take her into Montevideo there and effect repairs. Now keep in mind that when a battleship or a military ship goes into a foreign port like Montevideo, they can only go in there long enough to repair seaworthiness battle damage or damage. In other words, once the ship is made right and is able to go back out to sea, that's it. You cannot, according to the international treaty, sit there and repair, your guns and take on new armaments and weaponry and ammunition and all that. You can only be in there long enough to repair your seaworthiness. Long story short. Of course, the British gave a port of Montevideo 24 hours to send the Graf Spee out or face the consequences. Take a look at this.
So you are the pocket battleship Graf Spee?
Achtung! Der englische Kapitän Duff von der Afrika Shell, Herr Kapitän. Warten Sie, hier ist der Kapitän Price.
Bitte.
Well, Captain Duff.
Well, Captain Langsdorff.
How do you do, Captain? My boarding officer has reported your protest about the seizure of your ship. You say that you are in territorial waters. If you were, it makes it very difficult for me.
Not half so difficult, sir, as it makes for me already. I've lost my ship and everything else. To my mind, there's not the slightest doubt I was well within the 3-mile limit. If I had my chart here, I could...
Here's your chart, Captain. Please, show me.
I will. Look here. There. See that line? It couldn't be clearer.
We're not likely to agree, Captain. You want the figures to prove you right and me wrong, whereas I want the figures to... Shall we make a compromise? You write out your protest and I'll give you a receipt. Is that fair?
That's fair enough, sir.
Shall we drink? Scotch. A genuine from the steamship Clement.
Oh, so you sunk the Clement.
Cigarette?
Also genuine?
Yes, but not from the Clement, I think. No, from the Huntsman.
Captain of the Huntsman was a pal of mine.
Is Captain, yes.
What, is he on board?
Not exactly. Believe me, Captain, I don't like sending ships to the bottom. What sailor does? Nor do I like making war on civilians. Up till now, it's the civilians who have suffered in this war. The army sitting in armor and concrete, broadcasting to each other. The airmen are making reconnaissance flights, and the sailors are... Well, take me, for example. I'm in command of a fine ship, a new ship, one of the finest battleships afloat. They are fast,
25 knots.
More. I have immense firepower.
6 11-inch guns and 8 or 10 5-inch.
Oh, use your eyes. And my orders are to sink merchant ships and avoid a battle.
Oh, you never know your luck, Captain. One of these days, without you wanting it, you might run up against one of ours.
You have only 3 ships that can catch me. Repulse, Renown, and Hood.
Oh, on paper.
Your big battleships are not fast enough to catch me.
Plenty of our cruisers are faster than you.
They can't match my guns.
On paper.
I have one other advantage, Captain. The vastness of the sea. It's very difficult to find me.
I can appreciate that, sir. I don't understand how your supply ship can ever hope to find you.
She can't. I find her.
Well, isn't that just as difficult?
It's the simplest thing in the world, Captain. The details are secret, but the method is very old. The ocean is divided into squares, and I know exactly in which square my supply ship will be on a certain date.
Very interesting.
I know exactly what you're thinking, Captain, but the charts are safe, and so are you for the duration. So you see, I can hunt the 7 seas from the North Pole to the South.
Well, I hope you won't go as far as that, sir, because I'm not quite dressed for it.
But we'll get our tailor to make you something warmer.
Oh, so we are going south.
Perhaps. Then, Captain, would you like to see over my ship?
I might as well. I've got an hour or two.
For, well, not quite the opening scene for the movie, where a ship has been attacked and destroyed by the Grass Spree, and the captain and crew have been brought aboard the Grass Spree. Of course, Captain Hans Langsdorff is played by Peter Finch in this movie, and does a very good job at that. We hope you enjoyed that clip. In just a minute, we're going to show you another clip. But until that time, we're going to get back into this. Now, as I said before, that the ship was given 24 hours to leave port. And, of course, the Germans knew that 3 ships were out there waiting for them, and were arguing the point with their consulate there that they needed time to prepare for battle and repair their battle damage, because we only had 1 working gun. And to sail on out of there would have been suicide. And, of course, their pleas landed on deaf ears, because the people there knew that if they didn't get their ship out of there, that the British would bring the war to the home port there of Montevideo, and they were not going to allow that to happen. So, away Grass Spree went, and the rest is history. And unfortunately, these things do happen, but you know, better the German battleship than our 3 British ships, which were allied with the United States during the time of World War II, and are currently allies of ours now. So we want you to take a look at this clip and try to imagine actually being there and watching this disaster happen.
Time to the second. Exactly sunset. The twilight of the gods.
Here before you are the three ships together. This is the only time that they were together. This Admiral Graf Spee, the Admiral Scheer, and the Deutschland. These are three sister ships. They're identical to each other in every way. This is the Admiral Graf Spee after her battle. Well, I wouldn't call it a battle. I mean, let's look at it. They call it the Battle of the River Plate. I mean, there was no battle. What happened is a German ship was scuttled by the captain and crew. I mean, where's the battle? Unless they're talking about the battle between the three ships out in the Atlantic, because there was no battle. And this is what was left of the Graf Spee before she turned on her side and sunk into the mud below the surface. Now, this water that you see here, she's actually sitting on the bottom. The river there is at where she's sitting is only 36 feet deep, or approximately 11 meters. But this is the colorized photograph of the black and white that you normally see. Of course, I'm sure that the British sailed in for a closer look. Well, you got to make sure, right? Of course you do. On the news, as you probably recognize this eagle and, of course, the swastika of the German Nazi Party. This was mounted to the stern of the Admiral Graf Spee. This is brought up, and an independent businessman in Argentina has made a bid to buy this. What he intends to do with it, God only knows. And in memorandum, the British, of course, hearing that the captain, Hans Langsdorff, scuttled the ship along with his crewmates to help him to scuttle the ship, wiring the torpedo bays and the powder magazines, engines and all that to destroy the ship, to prevent it from falling into enemy hands or being sunk at the hands of the British. They took their hats off and honored Captain Langsdorff by saying that it was a humanitarian move for him to destroy that ship, which saved many lives and which would have occurred in battle. And they believed it was a humanitarian thing to do, and honored him and thanked him for that. The crew, after the captain seen to their safety and so forth like that, were transferred to Buenos Aires, where 3 days after the sinking, the scuttle of the ship Admiral Graf Spee here, Captain Langsdorff took his own life. And, of course, nobody will actually know the reason why. Many believe that he felt disgraced. Of course, Hitler would have probably ordered his death anyway, and probably did. I heard a fact that the telegram was sent to the embassy down there ordering just that. But because he'd scuttled the ship. But whatever the reason was, like I say, whatever the reason was, I guess it was good enough for him to commit suicide. But, in my personal opinion, there's no reason to commit suicide for anything. It's not the way to do things. Could have led a peaceful life, but, who knows? But all in all, World War II, God, what a waste of lives and so forth. And stories, the battles and stuff like that made no sense. And just for one insane person, scramble brains Hitler, and a few others that went with him. But outside of that, you know, we're glad we ended it. I'm glad it's over. And to the crew of the Admiral Grass Free and the captain, I hope you rest in peace. And to the British, I say hats off to you for your bravery and your determination to end this war. And until next time, I'm James with James's Classic Movies. And if you do not have this movie in your collection, your military collection, I urge you to strongly pick this up, along with Sink the Bismarck, and we see what happened. Show you what happened when things can get out of hand real quick. And until next time, you have a nice day.